Round 10 then of the World 500cc Motocross Championship, and Namur here in Belgium, probably the most famous motocross circuit within the world. And the points standing coming into this with George Jobé leading the championship with this man, Billy Lyles, second, 38 points behind George Jobé, and just 7 points separates Lyles and Nicol, who is currently 45 points adrift of the championship leader, and that's him, number 1, George Jobé. Oh, there's Aaron Nicol, Paul Wong, and Billy Lyles' mechanic. That's the British riders, Brian Wheeler there, and young Warren Edwards. His first year in the 500 ranks as George Jobé takes up the role of gardener and prepares, as one would say, his starting blocks for Heat 1. Dave Nicol, the KTM team manager, with his rider and son, Kurt Nicol, and Kurt knows that this is where he really has to do the stuff. Jeremy Watley, last year's British 500cc champion, as Nicol comes down onto the line to prepare himself for Moto 1. Fastest in time training, George Jobé, second behind him. There was Group B fastest man, Billy Lyles, number 5, second onto the grid as the rest of the riders slot in and prepare themselves for that gate to drop. Here we go. Heat 1, Namur, the Belgium 500cc Grand Prix. 5-second board spins around, the gate will drop, and away 40 riders will scream up that start straight into that first corner, and here they go. And we've got some banging and buffeting. We've got a lot of riders going down amongst that group. Jackie Martins, oh, Watley, Lyles is amongst that group. Hansen's gone up the bank. There's Lyles, he's got away again. But Billy Lyles, oh, what a disastrous start to his first moto. There's the Belgian flag as it's Jobé from Nicol, and Nicol really does have to win here today to keep his chances alive at the championship. He has to win, and Jobé has to DNF or finish further down the pack. Thorpe just went through there with Salsa. There's Ronnie Oosterraad as the rest of the pack comes screaming through, but the attention, no doubt, will be focused most firmly at the front. And on that man, number 5, the Georgian-American Billy Lyles, currently standing second in the championship, and the tussle is most certainly on at the front. Honda versus the Austrian KTM of Kurt Nicol. There's Johan Boonen, number 11, behind, and someone is on his way back to the paddock. That looks very much like it's Lyles. Lyles, obviously injured in that start straight crash, is heading back to the paddock for some treatment. Well, that's bad luck for him. Jobé, at the moment, leads. Nicol chasing hard, Boonen behind him. They're all really chasing hard here at Namur. It's a spectacular track with the trees, the bales. This is the track, the Grand Prix, that people travel from all over the world to come to. The atmosphere is unequalled anywhere. Thorpe going, a former winner here and a former world champion. They cheer on the rider, the British rider Kurt Nicol there, number 9. Johan Boonen, number 11, a real surprise package this year in the 500 ranks. British fans cheering on David Thorpe. And one must say that that's really been a disastrous season for the former champion. Carl Salzer was behind him. The British fans are waiting, so somebody else is on their way round. And let's see well, it's Brian Wheeler. There he is, giving them a good roosting of rear wheel earth. That's the young Supercross star, Warren Edwards, 55 behind him. But there is Nicol in the lead, Boonen behind him, and Jobé pointing, gesticulating to the side of his machine. He has a problem, and I suspect it may well be a gearbox problem. So Jobé looks to be dropping out of Heat 1. Nicol now has taken up the running, but he's got Johan Boonen, number 11, sitting very, very carefully on his back door. Number 93, that's a Swede, Hansen. Thorpe. More was expected of him in 1992, but he's had problems with injury. Number 18 there behind, that's Carlo Hulsen. But Nicol is at the front. Boonen behind. Then behind Boonen, it's 93, Hansen, the Swede. Thorpe somewhere back there in 4th by the side of the British fans waving the flags. I'd say that would herald the arrival of David Thorpe, and there he is, going straight through. 18 there behind him, Carlo Hulsen. He's having a good ride. So the checkered flag going out then for Kurt Nicol. Takes 20 points. Jobé takes none. That will reduce the deficit quite Definitely. Well, Nickel takes the applause of the crowd, and no better applause for second-place man in front of his home fans. That's Johan Boonen. In third, the Swede, Marcus Hansen.
We've been waiting for this from Joe Bay for the whole season. No one can go the whole season without bad luck. Now he's had a bit. 25 points, not so much now with 8 races left, is it?
No, but a couple of weeks ago, did you begin to think it was all over for you?
About 30 minutes ago, I thought it was all over, but it changes.
Jackie Martin, she was involved in the first corner crash. Can you tell us about it, please?
Yeah, I was good in the start. I was at the second place, but then I started turning, and then Anstey was coming off the outside, and he hit me on the front wheel, and then I have no control anymore, and then I crashed to the left side, and then I take everybody with me. I think 10 or 15 riders, and yeah, and then it was finished. Everything was bending, and I hit a little bit my shoulder, but I think the second heat it's possible again. Good riding.
Billy Lyles down in the first corner, but not your fault.
I had a real good start going in, and somebody came from the inside. They were going much too fast. As I started to turn, they took us all down. And yeah, I remounted and was coming through well. I was already inside the top 20 in the second lap. And I come up on a younger rider, and I had him passed, and he got a little bit excited and thought he would close the door, and he took us both down.
And the extent of the injuries?
My whole left hand is pretty much messed up. As you can see, all of the fingers are cut, the knuckles are bruised, they're swollen, and the little finger is cut and is pretty much from the beginning to the end, and it's cut all the way to the bone.
And the break that you deserved, really, Joe Bay going out in the first leg that's now lost.
Yeah, but I didn't lose any points on him. So, you know, we're still in with a shout. There's 160 points left, and you know, a lot of people have broken wheels here, and fortunately we haven't as of yet, and we'll keep plugging away and try to cut at that gap.
Well, the riders coming down onto the line there for the start of the second heat. George Obey with the repaired gearbox. And nice to see David Thorpe there finishing fourth in that first heat. And the former world champion, former British champion, coming back to form at the end of the season. There we go. Someone got a good runner at the gate there, but into that first corner they go, and let's hope this time it will be clean. No, we've got somebody down there. Well, it looks like number 17, Joel Smets. Indeed it is, but it is Marcus Hansen that's gone to the front. Warren Edwards, 55 there, into second with Jobé third. Nickel is also back there in about fifth or sixth at the moment, but just look at the crowds lining the route of this track. Unbelievable stuff. The atmosphere here at Namur can be equalled nowhere in the world. They come from far and wide to enjoy motocross racing, but it's Hansen leading at the moment, Edwards second, Jobé third, Lyles is fourth. Better start for Billy Lyles this time. And, well, that's Martins behind, and that's Nickel behind Martins. Martins riding, of course, the Husqvarna four-stroke. But look at Warren Edwards. At the moment, this will be one of his better results of the year. Crowd going mad. Out comes the board, and just look at this, number 93, Marcus Hansen, it is that leads. 22-year-old Hansen has never won a Grand Prix, and if he can stay where he is now, this will be a tremendous performance for him. Edwards beginning to drop back now, as obviously some of those injuries he's picked up through the season begin to take their toll. But it's Hansen. Sweden, of course, traditionally a 500, well, rider country, I would say, by the way to describe him, I suppose. But there's Jobé in second now, making amends for that first race mechanical breakdown as Nickel begins to close on Martins on the four-stroke. You can hear the throaty roar of that machine. Edwards settles down behind that group.